Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. All we ask in return, please refer a friend. Today is Tuesday, April 24th, 2012. We'll be looking at the European markets today, starting off with the French CAC 40 index, and this one is an obvious downtrend here. You can see back here you had a higher series of highs, higher series of lows. This continued for a while, and then she started to break down when you took that low point out. We talked about this then. We traded it successfully to the downside. Everything was copacetic. But we got stopped out eventually back here, and then we were looking at a bounce, looking for another opportunity to get short. We tried it here. We got stopped out here a couple days later. We did that a lot, actually, during that time period. And she eventually goes lower anyway. We know she's going lower because on all of these cases, here, no hammer candlestick formation. Here, no hammer candlestick formation. Here, no hammer. Here, no hammer. Here, no hammer. Here, no hammer. So when you're looking at this today and you say, hey, is it now the bottom? There's still no hammer candlestick formation. I don't see a real bottom here. I do see a jump to the upside. We had a massive gap between this close here and the following open here. A nice little gap there is being filled. But I still don't see a bottom here. I expect it. Instead, we'll see it keep moving to the upside. At some point, I hope to get another entry opportunity on the short side. What I'm going to be looking for whenever I'm doing that is the exact same thing I'd be looking for if I were long. I just want it inverted or upside down or flipped, if you will. If I'm long the market and I see a reason to be going long, I'm looking for pullbacks that will give me the right signal, basically a pullback and then a hammer candlestick. In a situation where I'm looking to go short, I want to find a downtrend, which we obviously have. Let me clear this up. We obviously have a downtrend, so we're moving like this, and then eventually you will get some situation where you jump up and you get an inverted hammer. I want that. I haven't actually had an opportunity to do that, so I've been sitting this one out. But then if this move here, that we've got this sell-off here, we'll get another jump up here, comes to the same level or wherever it goes to. If we get a situation where it looks like we're peaking and we get a shooting star formation like that, or an inverted hammer like that, or this kind of thing, then I'd be looking at that and say, okay, that's where I want to be doing my shorting opportunity. So I would take the short opportunity once that showed up and keep a stop off of the high point. But we don't have that yet, so I'm just kind of watching it and see what happens. The German DAX composite, we have actually been short. This one made money on the downside. We have advanced the stop now to the high of this candlestick formation. You will notice this candlestick formation looks like a hammer candlestick formation. It is. The only thing that you need to know about this one is that it's not the low, and that's an important key element there. Whenever you're getting your advance and whatnot, and you get the pullback and you get the hammer candlestick, notice that it's the low point, and then she advances again. You get the pullback, you get the hammer candlestick formation. Here, it's the low point. Here, it's the low point. That's what you want to see. Here, it's the low point. That makes sense. When this situation here, we have a breakdown of this uptrend. Let me draw the uptrend out for you. Here's the uptrend. Actually broke there. Tries to reverse it here. Series of higher highs, higher lows up here. We get a series of lower highs, and this also gives us a shooting star formation or an inverted hammer telling us to sell it. We took that opportunity, make money to the downside. Everybody's happy. Then we come up here, do it again. We get another opportunity to go short. Then we get this nice little sell-off here, and we keep bouncing around now. But we're not actually getting good quality bottom signal because in this case here, this low point is not the lowest point. We actually have a lower point here. So this is the sell day here. Then we just get a little gap up, kind of play in this range here. But this is actually the bottom, or it's supposed to be the bottom, but it's not being marked by a hammer candlestick formation. Therefore, it's not really the bottom. Basically, what's going on in the market right now is everybody's doing the same thing. Every major market out there is doing the same thing. All their governments coming out saying, let's ease, let's give them reason to buy stock. And that's great, but the real problem is the debt crisis. That's the issue that's not being solved. And it's not being solved because they can't solve it. The way it works is that bond traders go into a market and they see risk or they see security, and then they bid on the bonds based on what they see. What they see right now is a whole bunch of debt and not a lot of income, and they expect that those companies, or those countries I should say, that have a high amount of debt can't sustain that level, and they're going to have to pay the piper. And so the rates on the bonds will keep going higher as long as that is the case. And eventually, the governments will say, look, we can't afford the rate you're now charging us. We need a bailout. That's why these bailouts are inevitable. You're talking about country is trying to solve a problem that is beyond their control, and therefore the eventual reality will set in, and we'll see markets continue to fall apart. And so even if we get a jump up here in the upside, you're bullish, you might be looking at this hammer candlestick saying, this is my buy opportunity, I'm going to keep a stop right here off the low. I understand that, and you can do that. You're trying to call a bottom here, but the reality is the European credit crisis hasn't been solved. It's just morphing into a bigger problem. So eventually anyone who's caught long in this market is going to pay the piper. I'm not going to do that. I will look for short opportunities. The London Financial Times Index, or the FTSE, first thing we want to know is which direction is the trend moving in. Well, it's pretty obvious. We look at the high point here, the next high point, the next high point, the next high point, all trending down. We look at the low points. So we can start here, 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 and we're actually looking at this one now. You can see that we are in a downtrend. Whether you do it this way, whether you do it this way, whether you do it this way, it doesn't matter. It's all down. The question will be, is it time now to buy? The answer to that question is no, of course, for the same reason I've always pointed out. And I'll do it again right here. You can look and see that every single time we have seen a sell-off here, we talked about this one here, no hammer candlestick, therefore we told you this was not true, likely to fall apart. There she goes. No hammer candlestick formation here either, and you get a little one here, but she doesn't hold and she breaks down. Remember, a hammer candlestick formation, even though they form, have to be confirmed on the next following day in order to give them any credibility, and if they don't do that, then they're just pause before you fall lower. Here we talk about the same thing, no hammer candlestick formation, so this bounce is not true. We are looking for an opportunity to go short. What will I look for? A hammer that's flipped upside down, or an inverted hammer, if you will. And there you go. That's why I went short. That's why my stop loss was right there. That's why I was right, making the money. Now I'm looking here and I say, is there a hammer candlestick formation here? No. Then what am I going to do? Not a darn thing. I'm going to stay short, and if she jumps up here again, gives me another one of these shooting star formations, something like that, an inverted hammer, yeah, I take it as a short opportunity, keep it stopped at the same place, and keep expecting her to fall lower, because the problems that are driving the market lower have not been solved. And we obviously haven't seen enough buy pressure to call a bottom in the market, or we would see a lot of hammer candlestick formations, which we're not seeing. So it's really quite simple to analyze these charts right now. If you're not short, wait for a good short opportunity. If you're long, you shouldn't be, but if you are, keep a real tight stop. And then as soon as you get stopped out, look for the next opportunity to go short. Stop fighting the trend. And that's about all I have to say for today. If you've not been to our free website at perfectstockalert.com, it's right there. It's 100% free. All we ask in return, please refer a friend, aka share our videos online. Also, if you'd like to visit with me after the market analysis is done, talk to me about stocks or individual markets or whatever, or any of the other smart traders on our free website, go there, check out the free message forum there. A lot of good smart traders in there discussing all kinds of different things regarding individual companies, markets, averages, so forth and so on. Okay? Looking forward to it. God bless, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Please take a moment to review our disclaimer. The information provided herein is our opinion only. Under no circumstances do any statements here represent a recommendation to buy or sell securities or make any kind of an investment. You are responsible for your own due diligence. To summarize, we do not provide investment advice, nor do we make any claims or promises that any information here will lead to a profit, loss, or any other result. These videos are for educational purposes only.